See?
He didn't even break up with you? He didn't just say, look, you're not from...
No.
What happened there?
I got scared.
You got scared of what?
This is the plaintiff, Kirby Sekovac. He says he and the defendant were engaged to be married, but living together with her during the engagement turned out to be a curse. She called him a slob, got on his case for not listening and interrupting her, and they ended up splitting up. She refuses to return the engagement ring and wedding band he purchased, and he's here suing her for the $2,024.20 he's owed. This is the defendant, Deborah Dalton. She says she's known the plaintiff for over 30 years, and when she was going through a divorce, they reconnected. Once they got engaged and moved in together, things went to heck in a handbasket. The reason she isn't returning the rings is because he owes her for half the bills of the apartment they shared, including the rent he ran out on. She's glad to be rid of the immature guy and doesn't owe him a dime. She's accused of being turned off by a fiancé. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,672.41, the amount she's owed.
All parties, please hit your ready.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
So, Kirby Sekovac?
Sekovac.
You are suing Deborah Dalton for the cost of an engagement ring and wedding band because things didn't turn out as you folks planned. And you are counterclaiming expenses from the apartment because you believe he should pay his fair share. But the story starts oh so long ago. How long have you two known each other?
40 years.
All right, and you first were dating when you were how old?
I was probably 28.
And you?
22.
And how long did you two date back then?
Gosh, it wasn't that long.
Not a month or so.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But we were in love.
But you were in love. What happened when you were dating back then?
He just disappeared. I mean, it was just a wonderful relationship. It started off as young love does, and it continued, and then all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. Nothing.
And what do you mean by gone? Because there's no texting back then.
Right.
You would call him, and he wouldn't answer, and
when he would call my boss, who he used to work for many years before that, he stopped calling, or he knew when I'd be at lunch and avoided me. So, yeah, we never heard, seen.
He didn't even break up with you? He didn't just say, look, you're not from...
No.
What happened there?
I got scared.
You got scared of what?
I knew I was going to go. I don't know. I didn't feel like getting married or some such thing.
It was a month. Why couldn't you, like...
I know, but if the rest of the story even...
Let's talk about that. So you guys reconnect how and when?
Yeah, I was just going through the email, and there was this ad coming up saying, meet a lost loved one, find her or him. So I looked her name up, and I called her right around Halloween. It was almost immediate. It wasn't almost, it was immediate. And we were back together. I bought the engagement ring in November of 2016, the wedding ring in December of 2016.
Wait, how long did you date before you decided?
About a day and a half.
So, what ends up happening? You move in, and this will be the first time you actually spend more than 20 minutes together. And
well, yeah. Yes and no.
Yes and no, but kind of yes. It's the first time you actually live together.
Yeah.
And how's that go?
You're asking me, as I thought perfectly.
Okay.
Found out it wasn't, but, perfectly.
And how did you find out it wasn't?
Well, in September 16th, actually, of 2017, she says, I'm moving out. And moved out.
And what was her
October.
complaint? Was it anything she'd talked to you about before?
Not. Nothing that I understood. I'm going to say no. She's going to say yes. I'm going to say nothing I understood.
Okay, because you
I mean,
thought whatever
nothing-
it was that her complaints were things that you could work out.
Yeah, I mean, there were nothing that we ever sit down, Kirby, here are the issues that I'm having.
What were the issues?
He's a slob. Not closing cabinets, not leaving his clothes a trail through the apartment.
Yeah, and I used to find that sexy. Before I got married, I'm like, look how sexy that is. And then once we got married, that first year of marriage was the hardest thing I ever went through because I'm like, pick up after yourself. The hamper's here, you throw it here. Here, here. It can only be an insult if you don't put it here and you're putting it 6 inches away. Let me say, he's shaped up though. And the other 24 years have been fabulous. So what about this made you say, this can't be fixed? Had you talked to him about it and he still wouldn't do it?
Yes, we did talk about it.
I mean, these are old habits. You live your whole life a certain way. It's very hard to change.
It is, and I understand that. And to be honest, he was a slob 40 years ago also.
Yeah, well, but what do you care? You're 22 and you're with him a month. You don't know. Like, that doesn't affect you. You're like, sexy clothes on the floor, I mean.
Well, and it was grease after he cooks, grease all over the stove and oven. I'm borderline probably OCD about being neat.
But I'd like to add just, is that, yeah, I'm a slob, I can't. But the closing of the drawers, I left them open. Now I close them, I still close them actually. She got me in that habit. But I even said in September 16th when she told me that she was leaving, hey, just give me 2 weeks. Just tell me what you want. I mean, I can't just miraculously think, oh, this is what I ought to do.
Are you saying that for 9 months she didn't tell you,
I'm telling you, the only time that I can remember her ever saying anything is one day she got mad and she threw something, not a big thing, piece of paper or a napkin or something across the room, saying, I can't live like this. But, how many times just somebody, even me, go, I can't do this, and not really mean it. So, no, I never registered, as I said before.
So you were never just telling him, clean up after yourself? I'm fascinated at the breakdown of this. Because
No, a couple of times I did. It was just close the damn cabinet doors.
And I did.
Thus problem number 2.
Which is?
His constant interrupting.
Oh!
And there's 3. I can give you the 3rd.
He jumps right in.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the 3rd thing? Apparently there's a 3rd thing. He's very clear that is the reason. What was
I
the
laugh.
You laugh?
Oh, my
No,
God.
laughing is good.
No. But when I'm talking about somebody dying, when I am talking about something serious at work, he finds humor in it.
What's wrong with that? That's a lovely quality.
Not at inappropriate times.
How
though.
inappropriate could it
be? It was just annoying.
But in any event, all right, so you break up with him. It's clear, right?
Right.
And then there is an engagement ring and a wedding band, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
did you bring them to court today?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, you have a counterclaim against him. You have no problem returning these 2 things.
Oh, no, not at all.
But you have a counterclaim against him because, according to you, there are outstanding fees and utilities, half of the rent for November, half of the apartment fees, meaning the security deposit that was taken away, and half of the utility fees, meaning bills from July through November.
Right.
Okay, let's talk first about half of the rent in November. Your position on that is that you moved out at the end of October.
Well, November, what they have, we signed a 1-year lease, so it was the buyout of it was to break
last month.
the lease.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was the last
And
month of the
were you
lease.
both on the lease?
Yes.
Is that true?
We're both on the lease, but she moved out on the 16th, like she said. She told me, and the apartment complex told me, that they were not going to charge for the month of November.
Did they?
And,
Yeah.
Do you have proof that
I
they
never
did?
got any evidence.
Okay, let's get the evidence. Let me see the proof that they charged. What did they do? Hold on one second. Did they take it out of the rent? Out of the security deposit?
No, I had to, here's the cashier check and the first page of the lease agreement.
You paid November, right?
Right.
Show me proof you paid November. This is, you paid November on September 29th?
No, I got the cashier check then.
And then you paid it when?
When I moved out, I handed it to one of the property managers.
Is there paperwork from the rental people saying that you paid November?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Forgetting about the law, should a woman return an engagement ring if the engagement is called off? What do you say?
I guess so, yeah, because it's not right to keep it. So.
Well, you say that reluctantly. What do you say? What do you say?
I say yes.
Because?
I'm not sure why.
You're asking her?
I'm the wife, and I say it depends on how much the ring cost.
But you keep it if it's
I'm
expensive?
joking, absolutely no. You will return the ring. Yes, it's just a principle.
Who thinks they should keep the ring? Really?
Yes, if he called the engagement off, she should pawn it.
No. I'm just saying, suppose that they just don't get along and they just call it off.
Oh, she should pawn it, yeah. Get some money for herself.
Pawn it. Going inside the courtroom.
I'm going to have to see proof that you paid November.
All right.
So let's put a pin on that a second. And what did you want me to look at here?
As I said, she told me that it was covered. They told me it was
Itemized.
covered.
Okay, this is the form 11-1 through 11-6. According to the building, they appear to be charging for stuff up to November 6th, not November 30th. So how much was your rent?
$2,080.
Leased rent, $572.89. Sounds like they prorated it. Yeah, it's exactly what that figure is. It's 6 days of rent for November. So why do you think you paid all of November rent? What they charged you was only until November 6th.
Because they told me that that's what we had to pay.
Well, that's not what happened.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
So now we know that we are not talking about half of the rent. We are talking about half of 572, whatever. And now you're also counterclaiming for half of the apartment fees, $810.86 divided by 2. Did you pay that, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, where's the proof of that you paid that?
Oh, I apologize. No, that's what I'm trying to have Kirby help me with.
Okay, and that's the $405.43.
Right.
I mean, I'm just kind of, and they have not chased you since back in November of last year for the $810? Because do you say you paid the $810? No, right?
Right.
Right. You know what, this seems, they haven't even chased you for it, right?
No.
All right, I'm gonna dismiss the entire counterclaim without prejudice. I'm gonna, the law in your state, every state has different laws about engagement rings. Right. Your state, the state of California, has a law that says as follows: where either party to a contemplated marriage in this state makes a gift of money or property, that would include the engagement ring, to the other, on the basis of the assumption that the marriage is gonna take place, in the event that the donee, that would be you, refuses to enter into the marriage as contemplated, that means you broke up, or that it is given up by mutual consent, you both give up on the marriage, the donor, that would be you, can recover such gift or such part of its value as may under all the circumstances in the case be found by a court or jury to be just. So he gets it back if the wedding's not gonna happen, and the wedding's not gonna happen because you broke it off.
Right.
He would have loved for it to happen. So he definitely gets this stuff back. This is going back to you today. On your lawsuit against him, since it appears that they're not even chasing you for the 810, yeah. I don't want to deprive you, if they end up chasing you and not him, I don't want to deprive you of the chance to get your half from him. So I'm going to dismiss it without prejudice for you raising it at another time in front of another judge, should that become necessary. Okay. But I think it's kind of unfair for me to order him to pay you stuff that nobody's chasing you for, and when the only thing they have taken from you is the security deposit, which both of you equally paid for. I kind of don't think it's fair to give you a windfall that you'll pocket and then they'll never look for you.
Right.
Okay? So that's my judgment. I wish you both the best of luck.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did either of you reach each other since you're both in New York at the same time before? It's okay. It's not a...
No.
Oh, I even asked. Call each other after I get off the bench? I want to know what's going to happen here. Ooh, you're like a giddy little schoolgirl. That's all I've got to say. All right, that's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff prevails. He gets the ring back. Ms. Dalton, are you upset about that?
No, not at all.
I was going to say, what were you going to do with the ring?
Nothing.
You were going to wear it. You weren't wearing it, right?
No, a friend of mine wanted to buy them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. It happens.
Okay. The judge was trying to play matchmaker again.
I know she was.
Not going to happen, huh?
Blessed her heart, but no.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You may sign some documents. All right, Kirby, you feel better now?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe her friend will buy these.
Well, maybe she talked. I was just going to ask, what are you going to do with it?
I don't know.
Save it for maybe someone else?
Someone else, maybe, yeah.
Who knows?
Or
Could
maybe
happen.
sell it to her friend.
Well, could happen. All right, good enough. Thank you very much. Okay, Harvey?
Okay, the law is a little different from place to place, but this is called a conditional gift. And that means that if there is a condition attached to a present like this, and the condition isn't met, namely getting married, then you have to return the ring. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Janira Cedino. She says she's a licensed esthetician, and she was hired by the defendant for laser hair removal and sold her a 6-month package. Well, the sneaky woman came to 4 appointments and then called PayPal and had them refund all her money behind her back. She doesn't work for free for anyone and is here suing for the $1,000 she's rightfully owed. This is the defendant, Mariah. She says the plaintiff runs an underground illegitimate business, and she was so unprofessional towards her that she canceled her remaining appointments. She complained to PayPal. They refunded her money, and she owes this wannabe esthetician nothing. She's accused of stopping payment.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff is a hair removal expert and sold the defendant a 6 months package. But the woman got treatments and got PayPal to refund her money. The defendant says the plaintiff was super unprofessional. It's the case of you make me pull my hair out.
Thank you, Douglas. Janira Cedino, you are suing Maria. You've asked us just to refer to you by your first name for $1,000. Because she reversed a PayPal payment to you, and you feel that that was a breach of contract. What do you do for a living?
I'm a licensed esthetician.
Esthetician. And so what did you first seek her out in order to do for you? What service?
For acne treatments.
Acne treatment.
For the face.
All right. So you go to her. At some point, you end up buying a package for you and your boyfriend, correct? Is your boyfriend here?
No, he was working.
And how much did the package cost?
$1,000.
What were you supposed to get for the $1,000?
Between me and him, it was never broken down, but it was supposed to be 6 sessions in total.
Okay.
For laser hair removal.
6 sessions of laser hair removal. All right. You buy the sessions, and what you want to buy, you want to be able to split it between 2 people, and she lets you do it, which is great. And then what happens?
Okay, she bought the package September 13th.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I gave her the treatment September. I gave her the treatment in October, November, and December.
Okay, so how many treatments under the package did you give her?
4. He canceled.
Is that accurate that you got 4 treatments?
No.
Okay. According to you, how many did you get a treatment in September?
For my face, what I strictly went to her for.
So you didn't get a hair removal treatment in September?
No.
Okay. According to you, did you get a hair removal treatment in October?
No. She gave me a trial, me and my boyfriend. She gave me a trial on my legs. She also,
when?
December.
She gave you a trial in December? Why would she give you a trial 3 months after you purchased the package?
Because I initially went to her for face.
I don't care. I asked if you bought the package on September 13th, and you said yes. Then why would there be a trial as opposed to an actual use of the package in December? You didn't buy $1,000 worth of services. You bought specifically hair removal. So why would December not count?
Because she never had the machinery to do that. That's why.
Did she do it in December? Did she have the machinery in December?
Yes.
Okay. And did she do your hair in December?
Yes, she gave me
and that was pursuant to a package you'd bought in September,
yes.
2 months earlier.
Yes.
How is that a trial? That's an actual service.
No. She gave me a trial because I even have text messages saying, "How is it?" And I told her, "It didn't work." I even see spots.
Okay. I'm not sure you understand what trial means. Now, according to you, how many other hair services between the date of September 13 and the day that you decide, I don't want to work with her, and we'll go into that in a minute, but how many services for hair removal did you or your boyfriend have, according to you?
In December.
And that's it?
Yes.
Did your boyfriend go at any time?
No, he didn't go without me.
What say you is different than what she just said? How many times, on what specific dates, and what proof do you have that you gave the 2 of them hair removal after September 13th?
I gave Mariah 4 full sessions and Edwin 3 full sessions. He canceled in
that's
December.
more than they paid for, so that I don't believe.
No, they pay for 6 sessions.
Okay, I'm sorry. So is each person supposed to have 6 sessions?
Yes, but my
so
package,
the $1,000, that's what I wasn't getting.
Yes.
So the $1,000 was not for 6 sessions, but for 12 sessions.
2 clients, 6 sessions each.
Each?
Yes.
Yes, that's 12. Okay, so you've got September,
September, October.
So according to you, in September, what day and who of the two of them did you give a hair removal treatment for?
Both.
Both of them. On what day did you remove their hair?
September 13th, the day that they purchased it.
And what other day do you say they both came?
October 11th.
Okay.
And Mariah and Edwin, November 20th, full laser hair removal session. And then in December, he canceled the same day of, and she came.
What day?
December 23rd.
Now, the 23rd is not in question because she admits the 23rd. I now need from you proof that she came on 9/13 for hair removal, 10/11 for hair removal, and 11/20 for hair removal. Okay. Now, you guys text each other a great deal. So there should be traffic texts. And I don't like seeing screenshots. I like seeing it in the phone. Did you erase those texts or you have all those texts?
I have them.
I want you to both gear up your phones, and I'm going to see what the conversation is around those dates so I can see if someone's canceling, if someone had it. So let's see that. Thank you, sir. And let's see. What does FU mean?
Follow up.
Follow up.
Follow up.
Okay.
LHR.
Follow up facial, $1,000 PayPal, and what does LHR mean?
Laser hair removal.
So what you have it up? Perfect. Let me see her text. You end up finding out that things aren't going all so well between you two. How? You started getting text messages.
The same day of, January 19th, January 29th, the same day of her 5th session. She texted me. I handed you my phone.
And she texts you and she says
that she has to cancel. I have to cancel. I cannot come in. Can you see me tomorrow? Tomorrow, I said, I can. I'm full. But you have the rest of the week. I work till 10 p.m. to laser you. And she said, no, I can't. I have to work, And
then what happened? How did it get nasty? Because it got nasty.
I didn't
Okay,
didn't
why don't you
allow
tell
her
me,
to come in.
How did it get nasty?
Okay, so leaving off of what you asked, I did contact PayPal on the 20th or 29th of January.
Why though? What happened?
She spoke very nasty to me.
How? What did she say?
Okay.
Not wanting to
Well,
do
she
this
said, this ain't Burger King. You can't have it your way right away.
Wait, over what? Because you were canceling and you wanted an appointment the next day and she couldn't do the next day.
Right. She kept bribing me sort of for, I don't know if bribing is the right word, but begging for a tip every time. Like I paid her my face in cash. And she kept telling me, where's my tip, ho? Or if I wouldn't respond, I would go, she goes, PayPal, 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 trying to get my attention through the messages. And I'm like, PayPal what? She goes, I said, I thought a tip is, if I felt comfortable, if I want to give you a tip. And she was like, where's my gratuity? PayPal, ho.
Someone could say that to you and be trying to be chummy, overly chummy, unprofessionally chummy, or someone could say that to you and actually be calling you, like, which way did you take it?
At that point, it was, where's my money, ho? Like, not funny at all.
So what happens on Monday, January 29th, I will have to see you tomorrow morning if possible. Tonight, I won't be able to make it. So it's you canceling the appointment. Please let me know what time you start working tomorrow morning. And she says, see you Wednesday. This ain't Burger King. Your way right away. You say to her on September 12th that you're coming in with Edwin tomorrow.
Edwin used to drive me for my facial
Yes,
things.
I know, but why don't I glean from that you did come in with Edwin tomorrow on September 13th? Because on September 12th, you said that. So on September 13th, why shouldn't I deem that you, in fact, went in? Can you answer that?
Yes, ma'am. I did go in for facial treatments.
No. Wanted to make sure for tomorrow, Edwin and I are coming. We are not including my mom in the price plan for the laser hair removal and blah, blah. Just want to make sure tomorrow we can take care of that. That's not for the facial treatment.
We took care of PayPal that day, the 13th.
Yeah, okay. Me pica aquí y me rascas aquí. It itches me here and you're scratching me over here. You heard what I asked.
So what's better, waxing or laser hair removal? What do you say?
I would say that laser hair removal is more efficient.
Maybe more efficient. It's kind of painful. Who has an opinion about this? What do you say?
Waxing is better because it's less expensive. It's cheaper.
But you have to keep doing it, right?
Yes, which is a struggle.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, the cross we bear going inside the courtroom.
And we're discussing all of your Brazilian and your boyfriend's Brazilians and all kinds of stuff. It doesn't sound like that's face. And then the payment happens. And she says, see you later today. And everything that was talked about all day was hair. And in fact, you specifically text and hopefully start the laser thing today, but for both Edwin and I. And here are pictures of your leg. Oh, and you were so unhappy. You said, yes, please stay in touch with me. I need you in my life. You guys talked every day, a couple times a day. I mean, this, you know.
Hi, Mariah. You can laser everything except...
Ah, there we go. All right.
But he should definitely not wait too long, because he's not going to get any kind of results.
So at the end, you still didn't tell me what time are you going to be there till today, because...
I am leaving like in an hour. You can...
Okay, then I would have to let you know tomorrow what time we both can come.
Hi, yes, I'm lasering now. And how long will you be here?
And you say, and this was for laser, and you say, we're going to go, we'll be there at 5:30. Edwin needs to pick me up. She goes, okay. And there's nothing else about canceling or anything else. It sounds like she's telling the truth, that you had several treatments, and then now, you know, we have a problem because you think that your clients are your friends, and your clients are not your friends. And you need a certain amount of professionalism, okay, around your life that you don't really have because you see yourself young and she's young and you think you can talk that way and, you know, and what happens is, what happens? She calls PayPal, she cancels it because she's mad that you won't see her when she wants you to see her, and then she's pointing to how you're, which was very unprofessional, say, this ain't Burger King, you don't have it, you know, just say, I'm booked solid with other clients. You have to keep the distance between you and your clients. I don't want you with a laser near my privates after we stop getting along either, you know? So, since I'm finding that she lied about the 13th, lied about the 10th, I'm not even going to go through the trouble of the 20th. And then in January on her 5th was the session that didn't happen.
Right.
Correct. And then Edwin never came in January.
Or December. Mm-mm.
All right.
May I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I think we're not understanding the picture in terms of, I went to her for facials. Edwin used to drive me all the time. This is why I'm saying me and Edwin are coming, me and Edwin are coming.
Right. Except for Edwin doesn't have facials, right?
No, it's for
and
me.
all of your texts say about hair removal and how important it was that Edwin continue or he wouldn't see the results. So when you told me that nobody got a single hair session, you were a bold-faced perjurer, weren't you?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, that's the problem with lying to a judge. When you lie to a judge, everything else you say is suspect. But go ahead.
So how can there be laser happening if there's no machine and it's being transported?
Because I think you're lying. Was there a machine?
My machine never leaves the facility.
Right. Okay, and the text you're talking about, I read it with my eyeballs, and it doesn't say what you're saying.
It says
What is-
transporting.
Right. You got to be patient. It takes. It's hard to get the machine, but that doesn't mean that she didn't have it all those other appointments you had, including the times when she's saying to you, "I'm lasering right now. I'll get back to you."
No,
May
Judge.
I say something, Judge?
Judge.
Yeah, you may. You know what? No, we're done.
Okay.
Okay. I had thought about maybe returning some of your money, but I'm starting to see now that the person who's the difficult one is you and not her. You know, even though I think it's a bad business policy for you to say things like, you know, I know how you meant it because she admitted how you meant it, that you guys had, oh, I need you in my life, and you guys were, you know, it was kind of a different relationship where you're texting each other every single day, but that's still kind of unprofessional. Let me give you another piece of advice. You should be, every time someone comes in for something, they should be signing for what they came in for. Each time I came in for, it's just so easy for you to do that, to have that process now, and then you'll never find yourself in this position again as a businesswoman, all right? But based on what I've listened to, I'm not gonna allow you to keep any of the $1,000. I think that the person who breached the contract was you. So I am ordering you to pay her $1,000, verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff prevails. She will get the $1,000. Mariah, the defendant's just come out of the courtroom. The judge didn't believe you, just plain didn't believe you.
Well, it's okay because in life you can't always prove your perspective or what really happened to other people. In this case, I know what happened. I paid for facial treatments and I paid in PayPal $1,000, and I know what happened at the end of the day, you know.
Well,
and for some reason,
we've
if I
been
was
through
so
all of that.
happy, I would have never stopped. Correct?
You know, you went for facial treatments. I must say, you look fabulous.
Well, I went to Dominican Republic and they fixed my face there now, as
they
you can
did.
see.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. Sorry I lost here. All right. Ms. Cedeno, you got some advice from the judge.
Yes, I did.
You think you should
And I will
pay attention to what she said?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be in this situation.
Has this happened before? Anyone
Never. It's the
canceled
first
like
time.
that?
First time.
First time. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, so I just want to spend a second talking about this. When you're in a business deal, and you assume, because everybody who goes into a business deal assumes it's going to be okay, but a lot of them aren't, and they end up in a dispute and they end up in court. When you start trading emails and texts back and forth, you got to think, even if things are cordial now, they may not be later. And what you write in those emails and texts could end up being used as evidence in court. So you got to think, what if it goes wrong before you send an email or a text? And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Luis Casares. He says he's an Uber driver, and while he was working, the defendant rear-ended him. The defendant's insurance fixed his car, but he was without it for 4 days and lost $1,000 in fares. The defendant's insurance refused to cover his lost wages. He shouldn't be penalized because the accident wasn't his fault, and is suing for the $1,000 he's owed today, right here in this court. This is the defendant, Garrett Doorman. He says he doesn't feel he owes the plaintiff for all of those days of missed work because the car was totally drivable, and there's no way it was in the shop for 4 days. This whole thing is sketchy to him. He feels like the plaintiff's trying to take advantage and trying to get a financial windfall when he doesn't deserve one. He's accused of making an Uber boo-boo.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff is an Uber driver who claims the defendant rear-ended him and he lost wages. But the defendant says the car was drivable, so come on. It's the case of Uber greedy.
Thank you, Douglas. Luis Casares, you are suing Garrett Doorman for $1,000, 4 days of lost work at $250 a day because you had a car accident with him that you say was his fault, and you are an Uber driver.
Yes.
All right, talk to me. What happened?
Well, on December 8th, I was driving. I had a passenger with me. We was waiting at the red light when Mr. Garrett struck my vehicle in the back of the car. So he damaged.
How fast? Did he not have time to stop, or he didn't notice the light was red, or you don't know? What happened?
Well, I was looking down at something and got distracted.
What were you looking down at?
I was getting a
text message?
Power adapter to plug in for my car.
Not a great idea when you're approaching a red light. Not a great idea ever, anytime. Not even the radio fiddling is a good idea. All right, so you don't deny that the accident was your fault?
No.
I mean, because he was stopped, according to him. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
the lights are
pretty ridiculous accident.
Well, the lights are timed so that the green from behind starts before the green ahead. So he was.
Well, not always, because if that were the case, it wouldn't take me any time to go anywhere, and I'd never have to stop at a red light. So no, you had insurance, right?
Yes.
And the insurance paid for the repair to your car.
Yes.
But they refused to pay for your lost wages.
Yes.
And what did they say?
They didn't refuse. They want to pay. They have certain amount to pay, which doesn't meet my requirement.
Okay, and what was a certain amount they wanted to pay?
The maximum amount that the company pays is $65.
So the insurance company wanted to pay you only
$65 per day, which I make between $250 to $350 a day. I explained that to the
What
insurance
evidence
company.
do you have of how much you make per day?
I brought my pay stuff that I get from Uber and my other company that I work as well. So that's the evidence I have.
What's the other company
and
you work
plus
at?
Juno.
What is that?
Juno is another app application like Uber.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they're popping up all over like weeds, huh? All right. How does it work with Uber? Do they have to approve? They don't have to approve your car. You just send them pictures? Or how does it work to be able to be an Uber driver?
So if somebody gets rear-ended and it takes 4 days to fix the car in the shop, can they get money for lost wages?
Yeah, sure. Because it's part of your business, so you can't operate without the vehicle.
But how do you fix that so you don't have to lose work? Anybody?
You can rent a car, go Uber or Lyft.
Do you have a duty to rent a car?
I guess not.
Really? If you can rent a car for $100, but you lose $500 in profits?
Well, I think the guy should reimburse him for that, the cost of the rental. Maybe.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
We got to do an inspection in TLC, Taxi, Limousine, and Commission. Yes.
So it's not like you can borrow a
Every
car
year.
and keep doing the Uber thing.
No.
Right. So what did your insurance company say about this, Dan?
Well, one thing they told me was that he couldn't provide sufficient proof of income to justify the amount he was asking for. They couldn't give me a whole lot of details about that.
Let me see your proof of income.
Yes, everything's in there.
Do you have a picture of the damages?
No.
Because I'm wondering why it took so long to fix your car.
Why? I don't know. They gave me.
Well, I don't know
they
either. I mean,
they
maybe
gave
you
me
took it to a cheaper place. I don't know what you
No,
did.
I did it to
How
the guy
much did the
straight up.
insurance company pay you? They pay the people directly, or did they pay you?
They have certain shop that is. It has
Yeah, they have their
certified-
favorite
yeah.
shops.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
they're
I-
usually not our favorite shops. I got news for you. But anyway, did they have their favorite shops and you took it to one of their favorite
to one
shops?
of their favorite shop, exactly.
You have a note here on your what purports to be your Juno's earning report, and what you write here is you put a little triangle and you say car in shop getting repaired 12/26 to 12/30. But you put it next to 1/23 to 1/30. What's that about?
Those are the days that my vehicle was at the shop.
Okay, but there's often with Juno huge gaps of time that you're not making money. Like, in other words, you work on the 12th of December and you don't work again until a week later on the 19th of December. So this isn't like, I'm not seeing every single day, you know, like that's your job and therefore you would have made $300 that day. Plus, I never see you making $300. Only one day do I see that. Or $250, only no days do I see that, which is what you're suing for. I see you just, you know, making 100 and something or 200 and something on one day and then not working again until 7 days later. That's actually what is this for the whole week?
Those are the statement for the whole week.
But then here's what I don't get. If this is a weekly amount that you normally get, where's the deficit? Where am I seeing that you have a deficit for the car being in?
Because that's Juno. The other page behind is
So this shows no deficit.
That's what Juno.
Okay, so can you prove you lost any money with Juno of what you've normally make?
If I don't work, I don't get paid.
I hear you, but you have to come to court when you want $1,000 and prove it. It can't be theoretical. This actually proves that you made as much money as you usually make every single week, regardless of not having worked that week. And now here, this is what?
Uber.
So if you're telling me that your payout on January 1st was so significantly less because that's the 4 days it was getting repaired, why was your payout so little? Because then that time it was 371, and there are times when he makes 900 or 1,000. Why was it 524 on December 11th?
Because they
and 841 on January 29th. In other words, what I'm saying is that you're being a little bit optimistic when you say I make $250 a day. You don't, because I'm looking at it. You just proved to me that you don't.
Because they usually be like week. I just stay because I'll be so tired. I stay in the house. I don't work as many days.
I get it, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, in other words, you can't look at me and say, Judge, I make $250 every day. So those 4 days between Christmas and New Year's, when I didn't work, somebody's got to pay me $250 a day. Okay. Based on what I'm looking at, I'm going to allow a loss of wages, but not in the amounts that you are attempting to prove, because even though you've brought me a lot of paperwork, the paperwork doesn't show what you're trying to get. I'm going to order the defendant to pay $65 a day for the 4 days, which is $260. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Okay, both sides. So the plaintiff is going to get some money. He doesn't get the $1,000 he was seeking. You okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I mean, you came in thinking he was trying to get a windfall, you know, that he didn't deserve. Do you really believe that?
Yeah, I do. I don't think he had enough evidence to show that he was actually making that much money, nor would he have made that much money during that specific period between Christmas and New Year's.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You must sign a few documents on your way out of courtroom. All right. Okay, Mr. Caceres. It's interesting. The judge gave you $65 a day, which is what the insurance company would have given you. Same thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't find that it's fair because I brought all the proof that shouldn't have.
Well, you know, I know you tried, but
yeah.
you didn't convince the judge. I'm sorry for you. You know, I know, obviously, I'm sure you lost some money by not working, but you couldn't convince her you deserved $1,000.
All right.
Okay?
All right,
Thank you very much. You must sign a few documents. He didn't have the proof, Harvey, and that's really what you need, right?
I mean, look, there is a simple rule when you sue for lost profits. They cannot be speculative. You have to prove precisely what the damages are.
Don't text and drive. The People's Court is a Ralph Edwards, Stu Willett production.